Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me. Last Friday I did my first Facebook Live and it was about an hour. During that hour I created this mini album and decorated it. So let me take you through how I created this. It takes 6 or 7 pieces of cardstock. I used 8.5 by 11 and cut them down. I'll go over all of that in just a moment. And then I was able to do the majority of the matting. This book I designed specifically so that you can maximize 6 by 6 paper pads. What that means to me is that each one of these pages is 6 by 6. So all you do is take the page out of the pad, cut off the little strip at the top, and it goes right onto your album page. I decorated this fall one during the live. I went ahead and created a second one and decorated it with Tula and Norbert's, is it Summer Vacation Pool Party? Anyway, both of these lines are out of print, but I'm just going to go ahead and make the album for you and stay tuned to the end where I'll do a little flip through of both of those little books. So we need seven pieces of cardstock. Today I'm going to be using white. I used 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and then I cut this down to 6 1/4, so it's 6 1/4 by 11. We're going to go ahead and score at 1 inch, 1.5, 8 inches, and 8.5. And that is just about the most complicated part of the entire little booklet. I'm going to set this one aside. You'll need one piece of cardstock that is 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. There's nothing to score on this, so you just set that aside. And then you need 4 or 5 pieces of cardstock that are 6 1/4 by 7 1/4. So I originally designed the book to have 4 of these pages, but during the live last week, I had 5 that I cut out, so I went ahead and put the extra one in, and I really like the way it turned out. So you'll just go ahead and take these ones and score each of them 1 inch from the side. So there's one score mark on each of these pages, and it's 1 inch away from the side. If it's easier for you for dexterity purposes, or just, you know, kind of holding down the paper, you could always just do it at 6 1/4, and that works just as well. So I'm going to do all of these at the same mark. So I have all of my sheets and my Teflon bowling folder here, so I'm just going to go ahead and score on each of these, or burnish on each of these score lines. So now that we have our longest piece, the 6 1/4 by 11, folded and burnished, I'm just going to lay it out like this with the larger section on this end and the smaller 1 inch section on this side. And we are just going to go ahead and take this sheet of 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 cardstock, and we are just going to glue that to this 1 inch flap. So essentially we have the 1 inch flap, and then based on the score marks, we also have a 1/2 inch gusset here, or spine. and we're just gonna glue it to this 1-inch section. And you can do it underneath or on top of that flap, whichever is more comfortable for you. Just gonna lay it flat for a second so I can line it up a little easier. And so essentially we have the cover of our little book. We have front, back, and our flap. So now we have our 5 pieces of 6 1/4 by 7 1/4 with a 1-inch score mark. And all we're going to do is fold that under, and we are going to make an accordion here. So we want to figure out where that little side spine is. And we're going to glue our paper down below that. So right in here. So this is the 1-inch flap where we glued on our 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 page. Here is the 1/2-inch spine, and we're going to go ahead and glue this in right next to that 1/2-inch spine. So I'm just going to put some glue on this tab. Oop. And should lay this right next to that score mark. Not in it or on it, but just right next to it, because you want the paper to be able to easily fold. Great. And so we're just gonna do these in the opposite direction. Just lining them up. Try to get them straight as possible. Next one will go in the opposite direction. So far we have this. We're going to add this one right here. Next one, same thing. And our last one will go this way. So the last piece of our base that we're going to put together is that if you want pockets, we're going to go ahead and put in a pocket here. So this is a piece of cardstock that is 6 by 3. And so this is going to be just a really snug pocket. So I'm going to take this and glue it on 3 sides. And even it up between the score marks here. With just a tiny bit of the paper showing at the bottom as well. So there's that. And if you want another one in the back, you can put one back here or just on any of the pages, of course. But in my examples, you will see that I have put the pockets in these 2 spots. Same thing, just a tiny bit of glue on the 3 sides. Kind of even it up there. And that's it. That's all it takes to make that little book. So let me show you the 2 that I have that are completed and decorated. If you caught the live the other day, I did the majority of the covering the pages during that live, but I went ahead and put a couple of other things in since then, just to kind of finish off the 6x6 paper pad. So I went ahead and in this pocket put some of the cut aparts. They were kind of leftovers. And then you'll see that on some of the pages, I went ahead and put a little spot where it's almost like a slide pocket, where you can put a photo or something underneath it, or alternately, you can just glue something right across the top of it as well. And I have a few of those. I think I had 5 or 6, so I put them in here, kind of alternating where they are. So this book opens like this, but of course it is an accordion, so it also opens like this, and it's just one large piece. And let me show you the inside of these pages. More of these little slide pockets. And then in the back, I went ahead and since I had one full 6x6 sheet left, I just made a couple simple tags that can be photo mats or white cardstock could be applied to the front of them for journaling. And I think that these are 3x6. Let me show you the other one that I made. This one is Tula and Norbert. This is last summer's paper pack. I think it's last spring and summer. But just went ahead and did the same thing. Instead of putting a plain piece of cardstock here for the pocket, I took this large cut apart and glued it on 3 sides. Put this little guy in here. And then another one back here with just some of the designer paper. This happens to be from a 12x12 pack, but some of the pages are from a 6x6 that were the coordinating designs. So there's that, and you can pull them apart like this. You notice on this one, I had a couple pages where the mats were just shy of the right size. So here I went ahead and put a 1/2 inch strip in an alternate color here as well. And then on the other side, I have 2, this one and this one, where I did the same thing. Except for this one, I really wanted this yellow, so I put a little strip of yellow and strip of red. And then I put some of the stickers from the sticker sheet on here and just offset those by using my circle punch and just decorated the back just a little bit. So that's it. I will put the dimensions for this paper pack, or for this, I will put the dimensions for this little booklet in the description box below. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. Subscribe and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified of when my lives are scheduled and when I go live. Thank you so much for watching another video. Don't forget, safety first. We're all done. Our book is all covered, decorated.